Okay, you Trump supporters, for those of you who thought that Donald Trump was going to quote unquote drain the swamp, nothing could be further from the truth. It's already been estimated that this particular administration and its cabinet are going to be one of the most conservative administrations in the last like 50 to 100 years, if not more. Mr. Trump has five billionaires as part of his cabinet. And I'm going to go through each of the people that he's chosen in his cabinet one by one. But just so that you know, 5 of them are billionaires. Donald Trump's cabinet at this point, without having the Secretary of State, Secretary of Agriculture, Interior, Energy, Veteran Affairs, Economic Advisors, Trade Representative, and Director of the Office of Management and Budget, his cabinet has a net worth of $14.5 billion. Now, if Mitt Romney goes in there, the number jumps up to $15 billion. And the jury's out whether he's going to get it or not. But anyway, let's start from the top and work our way through Mr. Trump's picks. First is Rance Priebus. He's his chief of staff. Obviously, he was the former RNC chairman, and he's a lawyer by trade. But he has limited executive experience, and his relationships are basically with those of the right and far right portion of the Republican Party. He doesn't really have any ties to Democrats whatsoever. Steve Bannon. Mr. Bannon is a white supremacist. I don't care what you say that he claims he's not. He just gives a platform to the alternate right, which is another way of saying he's given a platform to the white supremacists. Well, if you gave a platform to him, you support him, you're one of them. He obviously was the CEO of Breitbart. He's got a banking and entertainment background. He's made a bunch of movies, and he syndicated a very popular TV show. His claim to fame is that he wants to tear down the entire system. And if you ever have an opportunity of going onto the Breitbart site, as far as his anti-Semitic leanings and anti-African American leanings, just one look and you will see. The first general that he has, and this guy loves generals apparently, is Michael Flynn. He's his national security advisor. He was a lieutenant general in the U.S. Army, and his entire career has been in the military. Racist number 2, or racist leaning number 2, Jeff Sessions is his pick for Attorney General. This guy is ultra conservative. He's anti-immigration. He's anti-equal rights. This guy is damn near a conservative's conservative. And as the Attorney General, there aren't going to be a lot of lawsuits regarding discrimination or violation of civil rights under Jeff Sessions' watch if he is confirmed. Mike Pompeo is the pick for CIA director. This guy is an ultra-conservative as well. He comes out of the House of Representatives representing the state of Kansas, and he's a big pro-business guy. Nikki Haley is the pick for UN ambassador. She's the governor of South Carolina, and in my opinion, she's a moderate Republican. She's not a flamethrower, if you know what I mean. Now, the first of the billionaires is Betsy DeVos. She's his choice for education secretary. She's an advocate for school choice and vouchers, and she basically wants to knock down the power of the public education sector. She is a billionaire. She's married to one of the heirs of the Amway Corporation. Donald McGain is the White House counsel, and he's a career lawyer. Catherine McFarland is Deputy National Security Advisor, and she's pretty well thought of on both sides of the aisle as far as being a national security analyst. Tom Price is the Health and Human Services Secretary. This couldn't have been a worse choice. This guy was anti-ACA, which all Republicans are, but he's also anti-global warming. As far as this guy advocating for the health of the people of America, it's kind of hard for me to see how this guy really is going to be on the side of the people. Seema Velma will be the administrator of Medicare and Medicaid. She's worked in various states, making it tough on people who signed up for the ACA programs. She's a buddy of Mike Pence. So that, in my opinion, doesn't deem well for people who utilize Medicare and Medicaid. Elaine Chao McConnell is the wife of Mitch McConnell. She's been tabbed for the Secretary of Transportation. She's got a pretty solid background, and she was the former Labor Secretary under Bush. Not a whole lot of negative stuff. Actually, I really didn't find really any negative stuff regarding her particular history. Wilbur Ross is the second billionaire in the group, and he's been tabbed for Commerce Secretary. This guy is a vulture. He's an investor and a workout artist of distressed companies. So, translation, he goes in to large distressed companies that are either in bankruptcy or just about ready to go into bankruptcy. What he does is he breaks up the companies into their components and sells them. A lot of the times the workers get screwed on their medical benefits and their pensions. So again, that's the definition of a vulture. He just comes in and picks the bones of dying or dead companies. Steve Mnuchin has been tabbed for the Secretary of the Treasury. This guy is an investment banker and hedge fund manager, and he worked with Goldman Sachs. His claim to fame was going into California with a bunch of other investors, buying up a bank with the guarantee of the U.S. government, kicking out 35,000 homeowners, foreclosing on their mortgages, lying to them in effect, in some cases telling them that even though they weren't behind, but they were under water on their mortgages, that they had to be 3 months behind before they would be willing to talk to them about doing some type of a workout or refi. That was a lie, and there's various videos across the internet with people who have given testimony that this guy and his company and the bankers working at that particular bank straight out lied to them. This guy's other claim to fame is the fact that he was Donald Trump's campaign finance manager. Todd Ricketts, another billionaire. His family late on became Trump supporters, and the only thing I could find out about this guy as far as his history, he's a co-owner of the Chicago Cubs. That is it. Former General James Mathis has been tabbed for Secretary of Defense. And again, his entire life, that of a military career. He's the second of 3 generals that Trump has already tabbed to serve on his cabinet. We all know and love Ben Carson. Ben Carson's been tabbed for the Housing and Urban Development's secretary position. He has absolutely no experience in this realm, okay? his entire experience is within the medical field. So how he's going to run this particular agency, God only knows, because nobody else can figure it out. Linda McMahon, another billionaire. She's been tabbed to run the SBA. Her background is entertainment, in the entertainment industry. Specifically, she ran the WWE and took it public, which is where she made all of her money, her and her husband, Ed McMahon. I said Ed McMahon. I forgot, I think it's Jim McMahon. But anyway, she ran for Senate twice in Connecticut, lost both times, and then she was able to obtain an appointment to work with the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So, you know, she really doesn't have, I mean, she's got a business background, don't get me wrong, running the WWE, you know, that was a big operation, but handling the SBA, I don't know about that one. The next pick is Scott Pruitt for EPA. This guy has major ties to the oil industry. He's an ultra-conservative on all issues, including social issues, and he's an anti-regulation proponent. So when the water goes bad in your particular town or city, and the EPA was supposed to be monitoring it, but the regulations got knocked down so that they didn't have to monitor it as closely as was needed, this is the guy that you're going to need to look at. That's Scott Pruitt right there. Okay, Terry Branstad. Okay, this light position, he's been tabbed to be the ambassador to China. He's a career politician. The next guy is John F. Kelly, another general, and he's been tabbed to handle or run Homeland Security. This is the second of two Marine Corps generals that Trump has tabbed for his cabinet. Last but not least, Andy Putster. He's been tabbed for the Secretary of Labor job. This guy is against raising the minimum wage. He advocates robots to replace people in low and medium wage jobs. He has a judgment against him. He runs basically Carl's Jr. and Hardee's. He's got a judgment against him in the state of California for violating California labor laws and underpaying his workers. This guy is, well, let me back up. This guy was initially the chief counsel for Carl's Jr., the corporation CKE. That's the corporation that owns Carl's Jr. He went from their chief counsel to running the company within 3 years. His claim to fame has consistently been reducing payroll and reducing benefits for workers. This guy is not labor friendly whatsoever, and he's also a billionaire. Now, already Trump's cabinet is poised to be the wealthiest presidential cabinet in history. And as I stated earlier, it's got a net worth of at least $14.5 billion. You throw Mitt Romney in there, it goes over $15 billion. Now, we have still yet to, or he has yet to appoint secretaries for Agriculture, Interior, Energy, Trade Representative, and Director of the OMB. Now, there is some talk that he has made a decision on the Secretary for Veterans Affairs and Economic Advisors, but I haven't received any current information on it. So, folks, if you think that this cabinet is going to be a cabinet for the people, you are sadly mistaken. And for all you people that are in flyover country, quote unquote, these guys could care less about you than the man in the moon. They are about making money, which is what Donald Trump specifically said. He tabbed all of these people because they make a lot of money. And those that don't make a lot of money were big supporters and contributors to his campaign.